Hello everybody, my name is Pravus, and welcome to more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. We're going to try out a relatively new scenario that was released, I think, about a week ago, like to the day. And it is called The End of the World by Fasharuni. It's the end of the world as we know it! At this time, the world is at anarchy, which sounds fun. Now, technically speaking, every Plague Inc. scenario I play is the end of the world in some fashion. Well, actually, it's not entirely true. I'd say maybe about like 95% or more. Let's say that. The vast majority are the end of the world. So how is this going to differ? I have no idea. This is a bacteria type. ATP boost Darwinist, Aquasite Extremophile, and Symptostasis seems good. It's called The End. The world is way too old to handle all of this, okay? The infected represent those who are scared, and healthy people represent who aren't and don't know. So we're trying to terrify the population. Infected has to do with fear and anxiety levels? Interesting. So is the world going to end regardless of whether people know it or not? Because that would make the most sense to me. I feel like fear levels shouldn't impact it, but maybe not. Starts in the USA. The USA is probably where it would start, I think. Why? You think that most anxiety and fear-driven stuff is in the US? I mean, maybe. Given the fact that 3.2 million people have already been infected within seconds, I'm going to go with, yeah, maybe you're right. Who knows? Transmissions, what do we got? Well, it looks like the standard stuff over there. All right, symptoms. Oh, here's some new stuff. Okay, so we have our standard nausea, coughing, insomnia, cysts, and anemia. We also have cure. I'm sure that's supposed to be choir, but it's cure. Shady people start singing eerie tunes in public, including songs Ring Around the Roses, depressing songs, suicidal songs, and more. This makes people depressed. I mean, yeah, let's be honest. Ring Around the Rosie is a very creepy song if done correctly. Heck, it's even in this game. If you listen carefully, there's a creepy girl who says, "Ring around the rose." It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Anger makes those angry and want to kill anything in sight. Well, that's pretty darn lethal. Don't want to pick that up anytime soon. Actually, this is lethal too. Not really too sure why. Guess depression. Afraid makes people generally afraid that the world is ending soon. So I guess just by general fear that the world is ending soon, we're going to make it happen. Is that how this is going to work? I mean, I'm going to go for that hypersensitivity because I think having more infectivity in the USA is going to be very good for me. As far as abilities, we have our standard cold, heat, and drug resistance because why not? Also bacterial resilience because bacteria. But also following stalker. People that aren't worried about the world ending, those who are worried stalk them. A little bit of awkward phrasing, but the people who are afraid of the world ending are now stalking the people who aren't afraid. Increases infectivity, okay, and suicidal makes people excited to die or want to die now. I don't think I've ever really heard of people who are suicidal feeling excited to die. I mean, this might be a little bit too dark and it get me demonetized on YouTube. I hope that doesn't happen, but I don't think that's quite how I would describe the feeling. I guess I wouldn't know, but yeah, that seems slightly insensitive in the phrasing there. I have no idea. All right, let's go for the air one and the water one, just so I have better opportunities to get out of the United States, given that we are already hitting a critical mass. This will get me on other continents a little bit faster, though I do think that this virus may be programmed to be extra infective. Well, I say that, we've only got 9 infected in Brazil. Maybe the USA only gets an extra infectivity boost and everything else is relatively normal speed? No idea. Well, that's fine. Anyway, let's go ahead and grab the coughing and the sneezing, because those are generally quite good. Actually, let's grab pneumonia as well, just be a little bit more effective in cold countries, since we are now getting into places like Russia. Like Mother Russia. All right, what else we got here? So do we want the creepy choir? I think we'll pass on the creepy choir for a moment, but we'll come back to that one. Let's get some drug resistance and cold resistance, because that's still helpful. Though the U.S. is a neutral country in terms of climate, so we don't need the cold resistance as desperately as before, but it's still beneficial, given that I find the colder climate countries are usually the ones I struggle with the most. For transmissions, what else do we want? So let's go for the birds, because I think getting a little bit of extra land transmission could still be pretty beneficial. But yeah, so this is a scenario where I'm not too sure I know exactly where the theming is going to be going, because on one hand, it's functioning like a regular bacteria. On the other hand, it's kind of a sociological disease or plague scenario where it really has more to do with how people feel and interact with each other based around those feelings. Which is interesting, don't get me wrong, but how the two are supposed to coalesce, I'm not entirely sure. Nonetheless, we'll take advantage of it the best that we can. I think I'm going to ignore some of these for a little bit. Let's go for some more cold resistance. Who is texting me at this moment? It's my mother. Hi, Mom! I hope my fellow Americans had a very good Thanksgiving, by the way. I'm recording this the day after Thanksgiving. I am still somewhat recovering from my turkey coma. Delicious stuff, of course. Cooked a lot all day. That's my favorite part of Thanksgiving. It's not even the eating, it's the cooking. Very fun stuff to do. But yeah, hope you guys are thankful and keeping those close to you that you love, because This year has taught me, I don't know about everyone else, but it's certainly taught me to be grateful for a lot of what I have in life and not to take it for granted, because things can change oh so quickly. So, we got into Greenland. I see the boat going in there right now, and that's going to leave Madagascar as the only nation still difficult to get into. I do think a level of heat resistance will probably take care of that. And now let's go for some abscesses. Tumors are a way to start getting in some lethality. You could also pick up the paranoia, though it looks like it doesn't go down the insanity route, so this probably is not that beneficial to me. So I don't really care about it too much, and frankly, so far the cure is relatively inconsequential. I'm just watching Madagascar. I'm pretty sure I just saw a boat go in there. In fact, I did, so that leaves Morocco. We have the birds. We're okay. Let's go for creepy choirs! Oh, yeah. I don't know. Hallucinations. Makes people strange things like weird creatures or worse. See things like weird creatures? It also costs 0 points, so I guess I'll go ahead and pick that one up. Could also go for some anger, but let's try to get up a little bit. Oh, we got anger whether I like it or not. All right, well, that makes me angry. I guess people are gonna start dying whether I mean to or not. I mean, I don't know. It's just, you know, some people just get angry. It just happens. You know, fear of a lack of control of the circumstances. They're afraid of the world that they live in. And it just leads to irrational behavior, and eventually they just have to kind of take it out on their neighbors, and it leads to violence and all sorts of things. There's a good sociological lesson to be learned in there somewhere, I have no doubt. Suicidal, I think I'll go ahead and pick up. That leads to possessed, makes people possessed to those who have died from suicide. Oh, now we're going down the supernatural route as well, okay. Yeah, again, I feel like the direction of the scenario is kind of not always as consistent. A bit more of a laser focus would actually make the scenario a little bit better. But either way, homicide suicide makes people want to harm themselves or others. Probably both, since that's what is implied by that. We have really high mutation chance all of a sudden. I'm not too sure what happened. Also, no one is healthy in the world, so all of a sudden we seem to have exploded in our lethality. Possessed is not lethal, believe it or not. I think this might be a win condition. We'll find out. Let's go for following Stalker as well for reasons. I don't know. Is this a victory condition or no? Okay, I was wrong. It is not a victory condition after all. Well, that isn't doing me a whole lot of good now, does it? That's not going to get me any lethality. What gets me further beyond anger? Let's see. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to... Where's hate? Where's hate when you need it? I need hate. Whatever. It looks like the gating mechanism may not be working there. I picked up everything that I think could possibly be relevant to that. I have a few more points, though. Let's go ahead and pick that up. Oh, there it is. Bloodthirst. Oh, okay. Sure, fear leads to anger, anger leads to drinking people's blood, the blood of your enemies. Got it, blood for the blood god. It makes a lot of sense all of a sudden. Egypt's only now in anarchy. I'm sorry, I thought the whole world was already in anarchy. I have been misled. Notice we only have 1% cure progress, by the way, so something has tampered down on this pretty darn hard, and I'm not really sure why. Oh, now everyone's nauseous as they start to die. Good. Yeah, that's just kind of kicking people while they're down. Don't you think? I think a little bit. Come on, hurry up. Oh, the end's going to destroy humanity. Let's go for those genetic reshuffles and bring it down to 0%. That didn't bring it down to 0%? I feel lied to. Whatever. It's completely fine. We're going to get 3 stars here, I'm pretty sure, right? Wait, was the year 2089? 3089? I think I just saw very briefly in the top right that I think it's a very weird year. Anyway, 327 days, less than a year, not bad, 1% cure progress. Mostly because the scenario seems to be easy, not because I played very well. 81,286 points and 3 stars. So I think conceptually this scenario can be good, kind of like a spread of mass panic and an impending sense of doom that kind of leads to humanity actually creating the very crisis that they were afraid of as everything breaks down into total anarchy, right? It's just fear takes over the world. That as a scenario could be pretty fun, but it doesn't necessarily make sense with a lot of the other stuff that currently exists as far as the bacteria spreading like an actual plague. Now, if this were a bacterial plague that actually leads to irrational, like neural breakdowns, okay, now you've tied it together and it makes sense. Like it just needs a bridge between the fear and the sociological changes and the disease, and I think this actually could be a very good scenario, at least conceptually. It is a little bit too easy, and I do think the descriptions gives you a bit of help as far as like the grammar and the spelling, but beyond that, yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up as I think this is somewhat promising, but I do think it could benefit from a bit of extra polish. You think so? I don't know. We'll see. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.